That all it is, you're just speaking up on behalf of your asthma patients. And I was like, you right. I can do that. I'm already doing that. And she was, hi guys, welcome back to RTs Share Tea, where respiratory therapists live out loud. With me, your host, Linda Fry, the Asthma Lady. Yes, welcome everyone. Welcome to anyone new. And I'm back. Yes, I am having one of the busiest asthma awareness month ever. Your girl is tired, booked, busy, but it's a good thing. So yeah, guys, so today's episode is basically a recap of my time on Capitol Hill with the Allergy and Asthma Network. So shout outs to them for the invite to do some advocacy work with them this year. Around this time, so May is Asthma Awareness Month. And for me, it's a big month as the asthma lady. So I'm always running around. What I do appreciate about this time is coming together with a lot of asthma and allergy, food allergy, eczema advocates. So just people who are very passionate about this work. And that is the blessing of doing what I do. It's just being around like-minded people, hearing the stories, and almost keeping the flame going for me in what I do. So I really, it really refuels me during this time to be around those folks. So guys, I always think around this time I'm gonna have so much content, and I'm like, I have all these ideas, and then I'm like, it's as well where this month, and my plate is full. But I did not want to not have any episodes of the RTs Share Tea podcast during this month. So I'm just trying to shoot for you guys, give you an idea of what this day, what it looks like to be on Capitol Hill doing that type of work. Okay, so first of all, like I said, this is for the Allergy and Asthma Network. This is their 40th year of being of doing what they do for the food allergy, the asthma, the allergy community, and everything in between. So they had a big year this year, and I once again appreciate the fact that they invited me to their summer advocate, their influencer. We're now called advocates, but they were calling us influencers, but we voted not to have that. But there's nothing wrong with influencer, but we're more advocates when it comes to those of us that do this in the digital and social media space. And so we get the invite, and we get to network amongst each other and hear like the updates, what's going on in the allergy and asthma space. Like what is the new data, what are new policies, what basically just what's happening in the current time. And also we get to see the work that they're doing, and how we contribute to that work. So it's like a win-win. We get to see everything from that perspective. And what I have learned this year, being on Capitol Hill for Asthma Awareness Month, that it is complete and utter chaos in DC right now. So I am not and I have said this on a few podcast episodes. I have said this during presentations. I have never been one to be, I'm not a politics person. So I'm just, that's just not me. So I don't know the day ins and day out. not my thing. And so I first started to do this 3 years ago as a respiratory therapist and an asthma educator. When they were seeing what I was doing with the RTs Share Tea podcast, and they were seeing all of the work I was doing with the asthma program in North Brooklyn and in New York City. And so when they invited me at first, I was a little hesitant because, like I said, I was never about the politic life. So I don't really know, like if I fit in that space. But then, once I got the invite, I spoke to my mentor about it. Shout out to Ellen Becker. And Ellen was just like, Linda, it's not about politics. It's about you advocating for the patient, and you already do that. I was like, okay. I was like, you right. She said, all it is, you're just speaking up on behalf of your asthma patients. And I was like, you right. I can do that. I'm already doing that. And she was like, yeah, that's it. It don't matter who you talking about. Just share what you are seeing and how it affects that community. And I was like, I was on board once it was shown to me that that's what it is. And I've been doing it ever since. So anyway, so we get to Capitol Hill, we meet up, we link up, like I said, and then the next day, that's when we do the actual advocacy work on Capitol Hill. So we get like a schedule, and it goes by, you meet the congressional folks, right, from your state. So even though, my license, I have a New York license, and I do most of my work in New York, but I am in New Jersey, so I get to talk to the New Jersey congressional offices. So that's where I ended up at. And so the day starts off with, once again, knowing where you have to go, who you have to speak to. So we get like our speaking points. Bills that we want to help support and push through, and get them pushed through wherever they are at that time. So we'll get like a list, a document, and then they will tell us where to go. And then from there, it is a long day of walking. So you are walking back and forth between all these buildings on Capitol Hill. And so it is not a good idea to wear high heels, so you wear your cute flats, your office flats, and you keep it pushing throughout the day. So I definitely had to learn to wear something comfortable, something like office professional, but is comfortable to move in, because you are going from building to building, and it's a lot of walking. Okay, you are definitely getting your 10,000 steps for the day. So then usually you're with a group, even though one year I had to do it alone because nobody came from my district, my state. So you usually are with other people, and then you wait for whoever you're supposed to meet from that congressional office. And then you basically, each person has time to explain, to share their story, and to explain why they, the bill that they want supported, and basically their why, and speak up. So basically, they don't have a lot of time. So the overall visit is usually around, I want to say 15 minutes altogether. So roughly it'll be like 4 people, 3 people, 4 people on your team that's talking, that's going around together, and you each get a segment of time to share your story and how asthma and allergies affect food allergies, affect you, your community, and whatnot. So just to let you guys know what's going on in this country, there are places where there's no school nurse still. Why? There's no school nurse. So and so if a kid who has, like, let's say food allergies, their EpiPen could be locked up somewhere, and the school nurse might be rotating between schools. So she might not actually be, he or she might not actually be on site. Right? So, I mean, so things like in EpiPens and inhalers. So, you know, there are different policies for different states, but that's a problem throughout the country. Because I know we've had that in New York City where, there was a shortage of school nurses. And so, so there was a policy where a bill that they're trying to push through to make sure that every school have at least one nurse, right? I don't think that's a lot to ask for. You know, so things like that. And then another one is the CDC asthma program, national asthma program has been, it's been, I want to say it's on pause, but basically it does not exist right now. So they kind of scrapped it. And this is very worrisome because I had the asthma, with the asthma program, we had several grants under the CDC, the federal asthma program. So the federal asthma program gives money to each state, and the state Department of Health, they will create coalitions in certain hotspots of, you know, high asthma prevalence. So this was very necessary to keep the prevalence of asthma down. And so not having it is a problem. It's a problem, and it does affect folks like me who do this type of work. But this is what I say. And this is what I told a few people who are in this line of work as a respiratory therapist, as a public health educator, anyone that does this type of work specifically. Things are going to unravel. They are unraveling, and it's scary. And we who do the work locally, the grassroots work, the individual work with patients, we have to do what we can with what we have to help out as many patients as possible during this rough time. I also believe in the slingshot theory. And what that means is that once the unraveling happens, these roles, right? Asthma educator roles, navigator roles, public health educator roles, these roles, jobs, anything in climate control, anything like that, they're going to be slingshot forward in a few years. I truly believe this, okay? Because things are going to get worse before they get better. And then this is what's going to give us, the proof is going to be in the pudding, that these policies, these programs, these initiatives are necessary. So I think there's going to be an explosion of roles, jobs in this sector. Okay, so yeah, that's just my theory. So I'm keeping myself, I'm just staying positive and doing what I can now. Okay, so that's what it is. All right, guys. So I'm keeping it short here today. Like I said, I wanted to shoot something this month. I didn't want the whole month to pass me by because I'm so busy. I just gave a presentation. Shout out to Monahan for sponsoring the talk on asthma management and remediating indoor asthma triggers that causes asthma exacerbations. So I have been doing a lot. I'm going to be doing another another presentation for American Lung Association in regards to being an asthma champion in your community, and the role of asthma awareness and community engagement. So a lot going on, super busy. So yeah, and happy Mother's Day to those that, you know, that are in the village of raising a child. So didn't want to forget that. Also can't forget to say thank you to my past guest co-hosts, Pascal Fezami, Leonis Quinn, and Terrence Brock. So I had 3 amazing guest co-hosts in my past episodes. So please check out those episodes. They drop the gems on total and what they do. And yes, guys, know that we are growing together. We are on most podcast platforms on Wednesdays, and we are on YouTube on Thursdays, except for when I'm on vacation. All right, guys, a happy Asthma Awareness Month to everyone. And remember to invest in yourself and to only compete with yesterday's version of you. I'll see you next time. Bye.